Folks, I want to take a quick moment to appreciate the fact that we are living through stock market history. Wednesday, April 9th, 2025 will go down as a historic trading session, and it all started with a tweet from the President Donald Trump. This story has everything. I'm talking tariffs, I'm talking a trade war twist, and I'm talking jaw-dropping, eye-watering gains across the board. The overall market soared like an absolute rocket ship, and I'm here to break it all down. But before we get into all that, if you enjoyed these type of market breakdowns and stories, let me know by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. And with that being said, let's rock. Let me set you up with the backstory. Stocks were on a razor's edge. Trump announced a 104% tariff on China earlier in the month, and China retaliated with an 84% tariff on US goods. As you can imagine, stocks were sliding, and they were sliding fast. At one point, the S&P 500 was down 19%, which means we were this close to officially being in a bear market. I should note that the Nasdaq 100 and Russell 2000 both officially did enter a bear market. I think this goes without saying, but investors were beyond concerned, recession fears were spiking, and the overall vibes on the internet were no bueno. Then, at 9:37 a.m. on Wednesday, April the 9th, President Trump had a message for the world. This is a great time to buy. All caps, classic Trump. The initial reaction was a little bit of a pop, maybe even a 1% gain, but given the volatility, it really wasn't much and definitely nothing seismic. Little did we know, in a mere few hours, the next shoe was about to drop, and it would be a historic one. At 1:18 p.m., President Trump had another message for the world. He announced that he would be pausing tariffs for 90 days on every country except for China, who instead would be receiving a new heightened tariff of 125%. And bada bing, bada boom, just like that, what was upside down is now right side up, and the market started ripping. The announcement, the pause, wasn't just a lifeline, it was a shot of adrenaline. By the end of the trading session, we were all in some sort of new bullish, green-tinted utopia. The Dow had rocketed 7.9%. The S&P 500 surged an incredible 9.5%, and the Nasdaq gained an eye-watering 12.2%. As you can imagine, these gains were all record-breaking and will forever live in the history books. So who won? Who really came out on top? Obviously, that could be a little bit debated, but I think it's fair to say that China lost and most likely that America was gaining a slight upper hand. Another way to look at it is everyone who was involved in the stock market, especially the people who were ready to buy the dip. But I should give a special shout out to the tech sector, where it just seemed like in one day you were finding 20%, 20%, 20% gain over gain over gain. This is a very sobering reminder that if you're an investor in the stock market, especially the US stock market, you should not be panic selling these dips. If there's anything the entire history of the stock market tells us is you sell into strength and you buy into weakness. I know it's rough. I know it's emotional. I know every single fiber of your being wants you to do the exact opposite. The amount of messages that I've been getting of should I sell, should I sell, should I sell, when really the proper question is when should I buy, when should I buy, when should I buy? As a long-term investor, you cannot get shaken out of these positions because of a 1 day, 1 month, 1 quarter movement. You have to have that longer term vision, especially when it comes to your favorite blue chip stocks. Or to put that another way, when things get rocky, when things get questionable, when things get painful, that's when you deploy your new cash into the market. And when things are roaringly green, that's when you sit back, kick up your feet, and enjoy those gains. I deeply believe that overall methodology will always stand true, but what went down on April 9th and really what happened leading up into it, it is one for the history books. Trump's pause pulled the stock market back from the brink, which you could also argue he brought it to the brink. Not only were we effectively in a bear market, but people were legitimately concerned about a recession, and the things going on in the credit and the loan and really the fixed income markets could have been disastrous. I'm talking about some serious 08 Lehman Brothers type of stuff. But it never happened. The tariff news flipped the narrative and immediately took pressure off the markets. And the craziest thing is that Trump told us hours before it happened that he was gonna do it. But here's a sobering reality check. Even with those single day monstrous gains, we're still at levels below where we were before this entire tariff saga started. This was a historic bounce. There's no debate about it, but it's still not yet a full recovery. China's next move or big decision could easily shake things up, so in the short term at least, I don't think that volatility is going anywhere. Well folks, there you have it. Wednesday, April the 9th, 2025 will forever live in the history books, not just because of the monstrous gains, but because the president told us all to buy, then he paused most tariffs, and then man oh man did the markets rocket higher. Tech stocks ruled the day, but in reality, anyone who decided to buy the dip or really white-knuckled it throughout the crazy roller coaster ended up being the big winner with America, and it looks like some people who were betting against the market or more in support of China's side, well, they're as of right now, at least as of the moment that I'm filming this, not feeling too good. With all of this being said, there is still one lingering question. Is this the start of a new bull rally? As in, is the bottom actually in? Or are we going to go from a historic gain to a historic bull trap? Obviously, I would love to get your thoughts in a comment below, but let me know. Are you thinking that this is the real bottom and it's time to buy, and in the future we're going to be, man, why did I not buy more there? Or are we all getting a little bit too eager, a little bit too much FOMO, and it's going to be a brutal fake out? As I said, I would love to hear your thoughts in a comment below. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the good vibes, and I'll catch you in the next one.